Theron, we have a big issue coming through in the US. JP Morgan is down over 5% last I checked, and numbers disappointing. And not only the numbers disappointed, but some of the comments made by the CEO seem to have created quite a lot of jitters within the overall banking space.
Yeah, so JP Morgan is obviously the best bank, right? In the US context, Citi is generally regarded very dimly. Bank of America is a laughing stock below $5, but JP Morgan is the one that everybody loves. It's got the telegenic, super good-looking CEO, Jamie Dimon, the bank everybody loves to love. But results today actually quite good, beat by 10 cents on the earnings line, beat on the revenue line. But you're right, there were some wishy-washy comments. But we know the backdrop. Everybody hates banks because they ruined the world, and their regulatory environment is getting tighter, and so their capital returns are getting lower. I mean, it's been self-evident for the last 3 years. But isn't that what we want, a more conservative banking space, so that we move away from having investment banking and the risky trades with the retail banking? Look, I'm not going to be buying their shares, but I would prefer a world in which banks are super sexy, making money hand over fist, extending credit.
You mean that model
that
didn't actually work?
That was a fantastic time.
Okay.
Don't you remember how marvelous 2007 was?
High returns without worrying about the risk that you're actually taking on. Paul, did you forget about that? Right, so Chile,
Anglo American.
Yes, Anglo American.
There is a situation brewing down there.
Yes.
You see, viewers, when they tune into these shows, aren't interested in the currency or the commodity markets. What they're actually interested in is drama. And there is drama for Anglo in Chile because one of their best copper assets, Lebronces, is now potentially they're gonna lose half of it, because suddenly out of the blue there's Codelco, the state-owned corporation in Chile, which has an option to buy 50% of the mine back. But admit it's not a nationalization situation like in Zimbabwe. There's a talk of a big $10 billion payment. So interesting. I mean, the share price has gone down because it's a big price. It's about a fifth of Anglo's market cap that they could receive in cash. But on the other hand, you want your best assets. You don't want somebody taking them away from you and giving you a check.
It's interesting because we saw Sasol saying that they might be exiting Iran because of UN sanctions and sanctions overall. And we had news about Goldfields today with Kyrgyzstan as well. So it seems that a lot of mining companies and resource-related companies are having a bit of drama with some of the geographies
Resource
that they're
nationalism, you know, it's a terrible, terrible thing.
Well, you are taking a resource out the ground that is never going to be able to be put back in there. So I do think that there needs to be fair ground.
You know, tomorrow you don't need it anymore. It's like the whales, you know, for a while they were the most important resource in the world and then they weren't anymore. So, you know,
Paul,
while the copper is there, my view is get it out as quickly as possible.
Rajaratnam, the sentencing,
yes.
2 decades or 1 decade? Was it 10 years that he might be in jail? What is the...
Now remember who Raj is. He's an American citizen, but he's a very large, obese guy that was involved with a terrible insider trading saga. But billionaire. Anyway, as with, you know, other people in trouble, he apparently has a degenerative disease. Some might say he had the degenerate disease before this problem arose. Anyway, he's going to be sentenced today, and people are talking about a long prison sentence in a federal penitentiary. It's understandable that someone who's been living high on the hog like Raj is not looking forward to today's outcome.
Okay, Paul. So earnings season as a whole, Anglo, we had Alcoa out, Rio Tinto looked quite good.
Yes. And
are you overall optimistic about what's to come?
Always. Now we've got Google after the market tonight, and you know they make more money than you can shake a stick at. So we're going to gather a bit of momentum. I think the really big numbers start coming through next week. So far, it started out a little bit nowhere, neither here nor there, but profits are not our problem at the moment. Market sentiment is really what's keeping us back.
What did the iPhone say to the BlackBerry?
No.
I work.